everyone, and welcome to another episode of Roots Through Pokemon, the journey of a father and daughter on their way through the Pokemon series of games. We're still on Red and Blue this month, but it's going to be a special month because instead of just tackling one gym, we tackle two, mostly because there's not a lot going on between the 7th and 8th gym. So without further ado, I'm your host, Burglar Trainer Shea Locke.
And I'm Cool Trainer Ruby.
Alright, so let's see. Where did we start this time? We had just finished Saffron City, right? So we did the Sylph Company, and we did Sabrina, the Psychic Gym Leader.
Yep.
So we had all those teleportations going on in both those areas. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. Sure was.
So, we had already gotten Surf, I think.
Yep.
But we decided to backtrack up to Saffron to do the gym. And so now, with Surf, we decided to go exploring a little bit, and we went and found ourselves at the power plant.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that, huh?
Yeah.
Alright.
The power plant.
And there, we found some Pokemon. I think we caught some Magnemites. Yeah.
I thought we already had those.
I think we caught some there.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
We might have already had
more
some, but we
Magmites.
definitely made sure we had some Magnemites. And maybe Voltorbs, although I think we had those too.
we didn't catch any Voltorbs.
I might have, just in case.
I don't think I did because I'm smart.
Anyway, and then in yellow, interesting enough, there's a lot of Grimers, so he was catching. I caught Grimers in the power plant in yellow. But from there, as we explored the power plant, what did we find that was super exciting?
Are you talking about Zapdos?
Yes, I'm copying it. Zapdos.
He was exploring properly. Well, I'm like, I'm gonna go on this weird little path. And I might have found Zapdos.
What did you catch before you ran into Zapdos and had to reset because you didn't save beforehand?
I caught an Electabuzz on my way there, which are really rare. And then when I started fighting Zapdos, I'm like, wait, I can't fight him. I just killed him. So I had to No, I ran away because I couldn't.
You knew you were probably gonna beat him or whatever, so you ran away just in case, and that didn't work either. He was gone either way.
Yep. So I didn't get my Electabuzz.
Nope. But you did get Zapdos, and you did pretty good on doing it too. You were very lucky.
I was just
Whereas
fine.
I had used a ton of revives, a ton of balls, had one Pokemon left with less than half his health when I finally got Zapdos. It took forever.
I just had to reset once.
Yeah, and that was after resetting that I had that incident too, so that was fun. So Zapdos was a pain in the patootie.
Yeah.
But then...
The biggest thing is he
Oh,
just
go ahead.
made me not get my Electabuzz, otherwise he was just fine.
Yeah. So then from the power plant, we returned to Fuchsia City. We still have stuff to do in Safari Zone. I need a Chansey. But...
I got lucky on that. At least I have to reset that.
Yeah. But we decided to continue with our progress of the game. We'll worry about wrapping up all our Pokemon later. So then we headed on the sea route to the Seafoam Island. Hit the swimmers and beauties on the way there. Those were the two types of trainers that we had to meet on the way to Seafoam.
Yep. Wasn't there a cave in there?
Once we got to Seafoam Island, there was.
Oh.
So anyway, yeah, we get to Seafoam Island. There's a cave that we have to go through to get outside the... It's interesting because you have to cross the island to the west side, go in the cave so you can come out on the east side, which is where you can continue the sea route to the west. But in the cave, there's a lot of little puzzles with boulders and stuff that we had to push around. So, of course, I kept my Sandslash with me, who had Dig and Strength on him. Who did you have Strength on?
Oh, Wave.
Oh, your Blastoise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, Slasher was helping me through there quite a bit. And then I was trying to level up I wanted him to level up anyway because he had the Dig move, so he had Ground. And I wanted Water stuff because I knew Cinnabar Island had a Fire gym trainer.
I was set for fire.
Yeah, you had Blastoise, right. So I wanted to make sure things were good there. I think it was... Oh, yeah, I was leveling up my Slowbro as well. And while we're in there, did we catch any Pokemon in Seafoam? I mean, we caught one specific, but what else was there? I think we had most of the water Pokemon already, that we didn't really need to catch anything.
Oh, yeah, there was no water.
There were there was water in there.
No water that we needed, is
what
I meant. Sorry.
There was some tentacles, and we already had tentacles technically, but we wanted some higher level ones, and you eventually found one at 35 somewhere, but I hadn't.
No, I didn't eventually. I found it right off the bat. I'm like, do we have tentacle? And you're like, I don't know, and so I just caught it.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
You were the one searching forever.
Yeah, I didn't. I was because they were all 5s, 15s, 10s, or whatever, and I'm like, well, it'd be nice to get a 35 level. Anyway, so yeah, we made our way through there, and of course, we found our way to another legendary Pokemon, Articuno. And I think naturally, the idea of the game is you go from Fuchsia to Seafoam, so you find Articuno first. But like, there's nothing that actually takes you to the power plant to get to Zapdos, so it's kind of interesting. The second number is there, Zapdos, right? I don't know, but
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We got Zapdos first, Articuno second. I think a lot of people tend to do that actually because they get Surf, they explore, and they get it. And then yeah, we wrapped up the cave and came out on the other sea route to get to Cinnabar Island.
I got Articuno.
Yeah, you got that one quick, and I had another big string of trouble.
I'm just lucky with my 2.
You really are. And there's actually an easier way to go about capturing these things, and that's bringing somebody that can put things to sleep. But I don't think either of us have leveled anything high that can do that. So we did it the hard way and just beat them up through Pokeballs.
So difficult for me.
Well, anyway, so then we continue on our route, fighting more beauties and swimmers, but then there was also a bird keeper on a stand that I feel kind of bad for because after we beat up all his bird Pokemon, he's like, well, now I don't know how to get out.
He's just stuck in the middle of the water with a bunch of dead birds.
Which is fun. It's a little funny because his Pokemon were unconscious, supposedly he couldn't use the fly move. However, if our Pokemon ever go unconscious, they can still use their moves, dig, fly. So his story didn't match the mechanics of the game, but I'm happy that the game lets us do that because that would suck if we couldn't.
It'd suck real bad. We just have to make our weak, fully leveled up Pokemon with all our good moves and just put them so we never use them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we got to Cinnabar, and actually we skipped most of the trainers on our way to Cinnabar so that we could just go back to the Poke Center really quickly if we needed to. But also so we could get our steps in because that is where the Pokemon Research Lab is. And we dropped off our Helix and Dome fossils, and then we fought some trainers, then we came back and you got Ammonite, and I got Caputo, and we automatically switched them so we could level them up.
For evolving purposes.
Yeah, and then we could trade them back again so we could fill out our Pokedexes. And then, after that, there's the gym there, but it's locked, and the only other place to go besides the Poke Center and the store is a burned out building. That's what they call it. The Pokemon Mansion. And in there, we get some cool little story elements, which are fun. And that's also where we first run into the burglar trainers. And there were some scientists in there too that must have worked there before. And there was Ponitas in there, which we caught.
You found something exciting.
Eventually. But there was Ponitas in there, which we both caught to trade, right? And there was Coughings in there, which I didn't think I had for a while, but I eventually found one, so we could trade those.
And I didn't think I had Grammars, because you found those.
Yeah, so
I found Grammars before you found Coughings.
Yes, but we did find each other's things, so I think those are probably kind of like the Nidoran male-female in our game, where one's more common, but you can still catch them. But we found them both, so we could trade those. And then I also found Magmar in there. So, Electabuzz was in Ruby's game in the power plant, but Magmar was in the burnout building for me.
He actually found Magmar, after I had finished without him, because we do those things, and then I just...
Yeah, well, that's because I'm the one who's in charge of the item finder.
Yeah, and then he's like, since I found Magmar, you should go back to the power plant. So I did, and I got one Electabuzz.
Yeah, well, you were waiting for me to finish the mansion. It worked out perfect, actually. But the story elements, we found a bunch of journal entries.
Oh, yeah.
About the discovery of a new Pokemon. Did they name it in any of the journal entries? I can't remember.
They told us about Mew and how they copied something from Mew.
And then Mew gave birth, quote unquote, to Mewtwo.
I don't know if they ever said that, but we know.
Well, it said a new Pokemon, but then the entry in the bottom level, once we get to that very bottom level, that entry on that table talks about how Mewtwo, escaped and destroyed things or whatever.
Oh, really?
At least in yellow it did. Now I'm trying to remember if it said it in red and blue.
Probably. I don't remember very well.
I think all the entries are the same in all the games. But anyway, in all the red, blue, yellow games, they start changing them up when you get to remakes, but that's a different story. So it talks about that. So we can kind of guess that the burned out building or abandoned building or whatever probably happened because they were experimenting on Mewtwo there and he got out and destroyed things on his way out.
Probably.
And obviously the burglars are there because they're raiding the place. Pokemon are probably in there just because, well, nobody's living there, but scientists are still lingering around apparently because we found them.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then in that mansion, we find the key to Blaine's gym, the fire gym, and that gym was kind of a walk in the park because I had Slowbro. He has the surf ability. That's how I surf. So he could do that and blast a lot of people. And anytime there was like a poison type too. If there was, I don't remember if there was in that gym. But anyway, he was great.
There was, I'm pretty sure.
He was great for washing everybody away, for the most part. And then I had a backup of the dig move from my Sandslash. How did the gym go for you? Pretty simple with Blastoise blasting everybody.
Yeah, just blasting.
Yeah, and so we made our way through there. We beat Blaine and we fought every trainer along the way. It wasn't until I came back with Yellow, which I'm not quite caught up where we're at with Yellow, but I did do this gym. And I thought it was weird because they mentioned the Quizmaster. All the gyms have like a little thing, and I forgot about this one because it's been a while since I've done anything with it. And the computers look a lot like things we've seen in other areas, so they didn't stand out to me. But it wasn't until I was doing Yellow that I realized you can click on those and actually answer a question so that you can bypass the trainers and just move through them without having to fight them. Now,
I wanted to do both after
we would have done both because we always fight all the trainers in the gym. Great way to level up. But it was just like, oh dear. Oops. We totally just forced our way through instead of answering questions. I wonder if we can go back to that. I don't know. Maybe.
I hope we can. I'd really like to do that.
But in Yellow, I decided to do the questions, and they kind of ticked me off because they were tricky. Because the first one asked me if Caterpie evolves into Butterfree, which I know that Caterpie goes into Metapod and goes into Butterfree. But Caterpie does not evolve into Butterfree, it evolves into Metapod, which then evolves to Butterfree. So I figured that the answer was false. But then they said, no, it's true. So they just meant, in a general sense, does he eventually become Butterfree?
Yeah, that would be so annoying.
So I was annoyed by that. And then because that had me second guessing myself, when I got to the third question, it asked another true or false question about Poliwag and if it had 3 evolutions. And I'm like, well, it only evolves twice because nothing evolves 3 times, or at least not in that generation.
So it'd be a no.
So it'd be a false.
I'd say no.
Right, but because I was second guessing myself with the other one, I'm like, well, it does have 3 stages. Is that what they mean? And so I said that is true because it's Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath. Because nothing has 3 evolutions. Nothing. So why just... They just seem like a weird question.
I would have gotten the second one right, but the first one wrong.
But of course, then I got that one wrong too. So I was very annoyed. But I did learn that if you get them wrong, the trainers attack you automatically instead of you just talking to them attack you. So, whatever. But yeah, so that was the fire gym. And then, like I said, because we knew that there wasn't much between there and the final gym, we decided to go ahead and just push forward. So we went on the next sea route to get back to Pallet Town, which was exciting.
By accident, I had already started because I went the wrong way.
When we were doing the whole hatching of, or the conversion of the fossils. Oh, by the way, before we went to the Pokemon Mansion, we did drop off the Amber too, and so we get our Aerodactyl later, which we have.
Yes.
And then what I found funny about this route was that there was the swimmers, the beauties, like normal. Then there was fishermen, which was not abnormal either.
And they were on the little docks.
Because they were on their little docks, like usual. But then we found one person who's like, said something weird. I thought it was weird. Like, why shouldn't I be swimming here? I'm like, no reason. Everybody else is swimming here. It's not that weird. Until the fight started, and you find out it's a cue ball. So, like, one of, like, the biker gang type people. And I'm like, what the heck is this guy doing here swimming like that? It was hilarious. It did not seem like a good swimming outfit.
He had his little cue ball and everything. Or his big cue ball, whatever. It's not a cue ball.
He's called cue ball because of his bald head.
But he had the big chain ball.
Well, does he have a ball and chain?
Yeah.
I didn't notice the ball and chain, I guess. I don't know.
It's there every time we fight him.
I just noticed his chaps and belt and stuff. Like, he looks like a biker guy. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so then just before getting out of that route and getting into Pallet Town, I ran into a level 35 tentacle that I was able to catch so that me and Ruby can trade those. So that was exciting.
There was a lot of trading at one point.
Yeah, we did have a lot of trading, including with Yellow to get... Because Yellow had Bulbasaur and Charmander and everything, so I had those get traded to... Because of the way they're on our systems, because we're using our 3DS and 2DS for this. So I have 2 of the games on mine and 1 on Ruby's. And so Yellow had to give Ruby the 3 starter Pokemons so that Ruby could give 2 of those back to Blue, which I also have, and then trade them back.
Yeah, woohoo!
And we also had to trade one of the fossil ones because, of course, Yellow could only get one fossil. So,
I think it was Ammonite.
I think so, which was unfortunate because that was all the way on red, so I had to go through 2 stages of trading back and forth too. But then since then, Yellow has evolved them, so we'll have to trade them again before they get to their final evolution, so that we can fill out the Pokedex for those. But after that, we get to Pallet Town. A little disappointing that nobody said anything new, like your mom or anything. I mean, it makes sense because you could just fly there anyway, but it's just like, hey, this is an exciting new leg of the journey. But, and we just bike our way up to Viridian City quick because it's really easy now and every Pokemon in there is nothing.
We had to fight a level 2 Rattata.
Yeah, that was dangerous. Almost got me. But then we get to Viridian City and it's time for the Earth Gym, which Slowbro already took on the Fire Gym easily enough. Blastoise also, and Earth is also susceptible to water.
Yeah.
So that being said, the Earth Gym had quite the variety of trainers, and so there was actually quite a variety of Pokemon. It wasn't just all ground. However, there were like fighting Pokemon, which my Slowbro had confusion, so he was still like the perfect friend for this.
Slowbro was awesome.
Slowbro was kicking butt.
Yeah.
And then I had other Pokemon to deal with some other issues that could come up, like Poison, with Confusion again, or Dig, and like I think there might have been even somebody that was Grass or something because of Earth or whatever. So Flicker, my Charizard, just burned them away.
We defeated the gym pretty.
Actually, one of the trainers, or maybe even the gym leader, had like a no, it's probably not the gym leader. Had like I think it had the 3 stages of Bellsprout.
Yeah.
And so I got my Charizard out, and he got wrapped at one point. And I'm like, come on, get off of me so I can burn you.
You deserve the wrap. We battled one time forever ago, and he wrapped me. Because he said I hated Bellsprout.
So, of course, I brought Bellsprout. Well, Bellsprout was my grass Pokemon. You were, of course, going to have Blastoise.
I don't care.
Anyway. And then, of course... another funny thing I thought about this gym, which had the puzzle of like the arrow things, but those weren't really all that difficult. But they were the same kind of arrow things that we had to deal with in the Team Rocket headquarters, which made sense. Because when you get there, you talk to the guy that's been at every gym, like, hey, champ in the making, or whatever. He's like, I don't even know who this gym leader is. He's so mysterious or whatever. And he's like, I don't know who he is. And yet, he's standing right next to the plaque, like every gym has, that each plaque tells you who the gym leader is. And I thought maybe this one wouldn't because you didn't know, right? But it does. It tells you it's Giovanni. And sure enough, Giovanni is the guy that we fought twice before. Once at the headquarters, the other time at Sylph Company. And so now he's the gym leader. And I haven't defeated him in Yellow yet, so I don't know if there's anything different in this gym yet with Yellow. But there was definitely... the way this one ended when we beat him, he said, all right, that's it for Team Rocket. I won't restart them. Because he's like, oh, you beat all my Team Rocket. You destroyed us. But he was obviously planning on restarting them. But after we beat him, he says, no more. But I highly doubt that's going to stick. Because I'm pretty sure I know about Giovanni showing up in later iterations or something. Or Team Rocket or both. I don't know. So, I'll be interested to see if it sticks or not. But I don't think it does. But that was fun. And yeah, we defeated that. We got an Earth badge. So now, with both those last 2 badges, we are ready to take on the Elite Four.
Next up, Elite Four!
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Yellow, some differences I noticed. He got his Articuno and Zapdos as well. But the abandoned building was interesting because I was expecting, because it's the burned out building, right? So I was expecting the fire Pokemon again, like Ponyta. And maybe some smoke, like coughing or whatever. But there was a bunch of Rattatas in there. Which, honestly, makes a lot of sense from the perspective of an abandoned, worn-out building for a bunch of rats to be running around. But nonetheless, I was like, hey, where's my Ponytas? And then, I think it was only like the big major difference is Yellow is just the different Pokemon that showed up in a couple spots. He also made sure to catch some Pokemon in like Seafoam and stuff because I wasn't sure if I'd fished them all yet. He's definitely behind on the Pokemon compared to our other ones. Yeah, but we're excited to try to get to the Elite Four now that we have all 8 badges. Yellow needs to catch up quick. And yeah, hopefully next time we record we'll have become champions of the Pokemon League.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, we got some new Pokemon, so we should probably read their entries, yeah?
Who's that Pokemon?
Alright, so...
Okay, first up is Ponyta, Fire Horse. Its hooves are 10 times harder than diamonds. It can trample anything completely flat in little time.
Alright, next up is Magnemite. Magnet. Uses anti-gravity to stay suspended, appears without warning, and uses Thunder Wave and similar moves. Next up is Coughing, number 109, Poison Gas. Because it stores several kinds of toxic gases in its body, it is prone to exploding without warning.
Electabuzz, electric. Normally found near power plants, they can wander away and cause major blackouts in cities.
Power plants. Are they found near power plants? I don't know if they are. Next is 126. Magmar, Spitfire. Its body always burns with an orange glow that enables it to hide perfectly among flames.
Ammonite, Spiral. Although long extinct in large cases, it can be genetically resurrected from fossils.
Rare cases. Number 140, Kabuto, Shellfish. A Pokemon that was resurrected from a fossil found in what was once the ocean floor eons ago.
Aerodactyl, Fossil. A ferocious prehistoric Pokemon that goes for the enemy's throat with its serrated saw-like fangs. Oh, Articuno. Freeze. A legendary bird Pokemon that is said to appear to doomed people who are lost in icy mountains.
145. Zapdos, Electric. A legendary bird Pokemon that is said to appear from clouds while dropping enormous lightning bolts. That's cool. Oh, we skipped Grimer. Alright, Grimer, Sludge. Appears in filthy areas. Thrives by sucking up polluted sludge that is pumped out of factories. And then I have Pidgeot. Because my Pidgeotto finally evolved during all this, because I kept him around so I could fly around. Bird. When hunting, it skims the surface of water at high speed to pick off unwary prey, such as Magikarp.
Oh my.
And we found a few new, some of them weren't new, but we found a bunch of different trainer types. We had fought Super Nerds, Tamers, Cool Trainers, male and female. Burglars, swimmers, beauties, bird keepers, scientists, cue ball, the one cue ball, fishermen, and black belts. Forgot about the black belts in the Earth Gym. Yep, and that's our route through red and blue and yellow so far. So, thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Routes Through Pokemon is a Hunterfield production podcast. If you ever want to reach us, you can email us at hunterfieldmanor@gmail.com and just put Routes Through Pokemon in the subject heading. That's hunterfieldmanor@gmail.com. And our podcast is on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, so you can follow us, like us, rate us, leave comments in any of those locations where that's available. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you.